Why single men are scary for modern women. The realization that women are afraid of being alone with the guy is the most life-changing event for a man in MGTOW that we do with females. If you're a single guy, chances are you need to do more to make yourself desirable. However, single men who want to be taken seriously by women are often reluctant to approach them for fear of appearing strange or being turned down. If I told you that modern women are afraid of a lone man, would you believe me? Many women worry about being alone because men don't travel in packs. So when more single men show up, the more worried the women are. Let me elaborate on why it is essential to examine fundamental aspects of female physiology and psychology to comprehend female behavior complexities. You know that I've talked about hypergamy and how women are constantly seeking out the best man on this same channel before. Accordingly, that's not a significant issue. So instead, let me tell you about the importance of women's sense of self-worth and perspective. Admitting that women embody all that is desirable in beauty can help you make sense of the world. It's no secret that women have long been used as a metaphor for passion and love. From poets to songwriters, artists have often turned to the fair sex to symbolize the attractive qualities of human beings. And it's easy to see why. Women are often seen as the embodiment of all that is beautiful and desirable. They are typically seen as more emotional and sensitive than men, making them ideal symbols for passion and love. Additionally, women are often seen as more nurturing and caring than men, making them ideal symbols for compassion and care. In short, women have long been seen as the perfect symbols for all that are good and desirable in human beings, and it's easy to see why. They possess all the qualities we admire most in ourselves, making them perfect metaphors for our highest ideals. That's also because, historically speaking, a lady's finest weapon was her good looks. Makeup and jewelry have been used for thousands of years, and their origins may be traced back to ancient Egypt for the same reason. Women place a high value on their attractiveness because they believe that it will help them attract more desirable suitors. Because of this, she will have a vast pool of potential suitors from which to choose from. She will almost always likely pick the highest value among them, meaning that the most crucial factor in a woman's worth in society is the size of the pool she can attract. The more guys she draws from, the more favors they do for her, the more desirable she thinks she is. She will lose her dignity if no one asks her out, and she is refused. This is not a hypothetical occurrence, but rather a real one. Wait till you see how women respond to rejection before you assume it has any emotional impact on males. When women experience rejection, they often lose it since they aren't used to it. Women today are more independent than ever before. They pursue their careers with determination and fight for what they believe in. However, there is one area where women have yet to make as much progress: dealing with rejection. All too often, when a woman encounters rejection, she takes it personally and lashes out in anger. She may feel that she is not good enough or does not deserve to be treated with respect, or she's just not used to it, especially if that woman is beautiful and is used to men worshiping her. However, rejection is a normal part of life, and it happens to everyone at some point. The key is to learn how to deal with it constructively. When women get turned down for a date or their plans go through, they often cry. Suppose she wants attention from men and doesn't get it, even from a group of superior orbiters. In that case, she may start filming herself crying and sending the films out to everyone who will watch. As they enter their late 20s and narrow down their selection of potential mates, he may even find some of these women on certain apps. My thoughts have returned to the topic I was initially discussing. Modern women are the most promiscuous of all time. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that they fear unmarried men, especially those who seem pleased with their lot in life. Seeing a single, successful man who isn't interested in finding love destroys them. They are a significant menace to modern women, and their increased prevalence is something no one wants to see. Because of this, the media has been fixated on presenting MGTOW as a radical group. They're marching for insoles and entitled single men, yet the movement primarily comprises the same successful bachelors they loathe. Assuming that unmarried males threaten women's ability to attract partners is illogical. A threat to their worth because they've been conditioned to expect and welcome male admirers, suitors, and marriage proposals. Women rely on this ideal and go through hundreds of males like that in quest of the true and perfect one, because society tells them that to be truly happy, they must have a happy marriage and meet the correct female. Therefore, they look upon single men as radicals. I'm not the only one who thinks women are overrated. Any successful comedian or wealthy man with his pick of the litter would tell you the same thing. After weighing the cost against the potential benefits, they decided it wasn't worth it. Consider modern society's challenges, such as harassment rules, divorce traps, and allegations. As more and more men with a firm grasp on how the world works conclude that women are overrated and not worth the risk, the risk-reward ratio drops even lower. It's not worth spending time with women and monopolizing their attention to get a rush. In truth, guys become tired of women quite soon. While society often tells us that romantic relationships are the key to happiness, in truth, men are more likely to find fulfillment in their achievements. This is not to say that men do not desire or value close relationships, but tend to find a greater sense of purpose in their work or hobbies. For many men, the sense of accomplishment that comes from a successful career or hobby can be just as satisfying as a romantic relationship. Some studies have shown that men who are single or divorced are generally happier than their married counterparts. So while it's important to have those close relationships, it's also important to remember that success in other areas of life can be just as fulfilling for men. And again, men are fulfilled not by their romantic relationships, but by their successes in life. If a man has a bad experience with a woman, he may never date again. They snatch up puppies, start exercising, or make something. They start businesses, go on adventures, and found fulfillment in ways that a female companion could never provide. The members of MGTOW are not all students. High-status men who are acting make up the bulk of the danger. Men that women prefer to control and the ones they want to attract and settle with. This poses a threat since these males have a realistic understanding of women and will no longer engage in gender role-playing games. In the past, men's sense of worth and well-being were often based on the number of sexual partners they had. This was because back then, it was essential for men to spread their seed as much as possible to ensure the survival of their offspring. However, times have changed. Now, men no longer need to base their self-worth on the number of women they've slept with. In fact, it is far more important for men to focus on developing strong relationships with a few women rather than trying to collect as many sexual partners as possible. By ignoring their primitive impulses and focusing on building strong, lasting relationships, men can discover true happiness and fulfillment. Instead, they started depending on themselves, which was a crushing blow to the lady who was counting on men like them to hit on her at a club so she could score free booze, dinner, and clothes to post on social media. These men are done playing with her and basically don't want anything to do with her at all. It's becoming more common for males to act this way, causing concern amongst today's women. Men of authority have mysteriously disappeared, and they need answers. They can't wrap their heads around the idea that a man can be happy and at ease apart from the dating scene. How can he afford to treat women with disdain, which some women see as a sign of strength and masculinity, while some women view it as an obstacle to overcome? Others may find it something to strive for. They couldn't understand how it could be fulfilled in life's work without considering romantic relationships with women. And more significantly, what are they going to do if contemporary women can't date the betas they desire? In fact, they only support her by listening to her workouts and doing her favors. She'd instead go with the men like these MGTOW men and ride the divorce horse to wealth, where she can show off her new suburban mansion to her friends and blow her paycheck on ridiculously expensive consumer goods. Because she does not influence males, it would be disastrous if these guys started living alone so they could focus on their purpose. Suppose these men successfully inspire other men to follow in their footsteps. In that case, women will pursue men since men will be too focused on their ambitions to notice them. Women can only look so pretty for so long. When she finally realizes that no one is interested in her as a male, she gives up on the dating scene. She pursued men for years, but it never seemed to work out. They would always find someone else. Whatever the reason, she was fed up with men. So she decided to pursue women instead, and lo and behold, she got more attention than ever. Not only were women interested in her, but they actually found her attractive. It was a complete 180 from the dating scene she was used to, and she loved it. She no longer had to worry about whether or not someone would be interested in her. The only question was, who would she be interested in? It was a liberating feeling, and she vowed never to go back to dating men again. I'm just kidding, but it's possible that most of them would go this way. Even if she still likes men, since her worth would only increase, she has nothing to lose by staying single. She's in deep trouble if she doesn't land a man quickly, especially if she seems disinterested in her. For her, that's it. She's out of choices. That's why gals get cold feet when the guy they like is happily single. Watch this video next to find out what you need to know before dating a single mom. There are benefits to dating a single mom, but there's also some things you should be aware of before getting too involved. In this video, we discuss some of the most important things you need to know about dating a single mom.